Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.
Oscar BEVIS, IFL TV, MTK Global, in Matchroom's bubble, in my hotel room, for the world title triple header headlined by Katie Taylor and Miriam Gutierrez, and with Team Harper this week, Mr. Lee Appleyard. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
All right, I'm good. It's good to see a few friendly faces around as well, and like I said, you're with Team Harper. We might as well start with Terry. Obviously fights tomorrow night defending a WBC world title, and she's in good spirits.
She's in very good spirits. I think it's probably one of the best camps that she's ever had. It's been a smaller camp than what she's had before, in respect that obviously they went on and on and on because fights were getting pushed back and stuff like that. So it's been a shorter camp. Still a good 10-12 week camp, but she's enjoyed it more than it dragging on, basically.
Because I spoke to her yesterday and she said in this camp she's taken a lot that she's learnt from the build up to the Jonas fight, not just in camp but coming off social media, coming away from things a little bit, avoiding all criticism, because regardless of what people say, she did get a bit of criticism after the Jonas fight. So she's sort of taken a backward step, and I don't know, she seems refreshed.
Yeah, she's not getting involved with all the trolls and stuff like that, which it's just jealousy. She's obviously, like I said, took herself away from it all, and she just focuses on what she needs to do, and she'll prove everybody wrong, obviously, on fight night.
And how does she beat Katarina Thanders? Are you two aware of her background? I know she started in kickboxing and now she's managed to get herself in the WBC mandatory position, but are you two aware of what she possesses?
Yeah, obviously Steffi's done all the work. He knows what he's done. Steffi and Ray are the ones who have been working majority with Terry. But we know what we've got to do on fight night. Terry knows what she's got to do, and she's going to look very, very, very... I'm more confident than anybody in the team that she's going to look very, very confident.
And I said this to her yesterday, actually. Do you feel like she's ready for that superstar status? Because I feel like Matchroom are pushing her now to be one of the people who fronts women's boxing for the next decade. They've got Katie Taylor, who is 34 years old, so time don't go forever. At some point, Terry Harper is going to be the face of women's boxing. Is she ready for that?
Yeah, she is. Obviously, she's still young and she's still gaining all her experience in that. But by the time that comes, whether it's a year, 2 years' time, she'll definitely be ready for it all.
And you? What the fuck are you doing? Feels like I haven't seen you in the ring in ages.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's heartbreaking to be in the position that we're all in. I was supposed to fight. I was probably one of the most unluckiest fighters going. I was supposed to fight on the 20th of March and lock down it on the 17th or 18th. So I'd just done my final check weigh. Everything was done. Camp had gone great, and then poof, the fight's off. Which, like I say, it killed me really. And then from there, I've kept in the gym. I've tried to keep motivated, hoping that an opportunity had come. I got offered the fight with Joe Laws. I took it straight away, even though it were a weight division above. And then the team decided to pull out, thinking, not knowing full well that I was going to beat them. So that were down. That put me back down again. And yeah, it's been tough. I've been very unlucky in this game so far. That I've had some bad decisions like last year and year before. And then now we're going to fight Philip Bowes for Commonwealth. That kind of all got arranged, and then that's gone back down. So I've won an eliminator in November. So that was the one that I had before. And so I'm mandatory for English title. I just want major titles now. I'm a championship level fighter. I do a lot of tickets. And I'd fight, no disrespect to anyone, I'm not calling anyone out, but I'd fight any super lightweight in the country, 100%. Other than, look, I'm not having your top three, your Josh Taylors and your Cat Rules and stuff like that. But they're in any British level that I can't beat with a good 8-week camp, and that's all I'm asking for, a proper camp. I'm an entertaining fighter, and if the opportunity comes, I'll take it with both hands.
Did you ever lose sight of sort of the motivation to get these belts? Because like you said, you won an eliminator, things didn't work out, you were signed to fight Joe Laws, their team pulled out, so these little unlucky bumps in the road, did you ever just think, you know what, I feel like just sacking this whole career off?
I've had it throughout my career, so I've like got to a point I missed out with the Dodd fight just through inexperience. Then I got to another point and I was badly weight drained. I missed out again on things. So it's like third time lucky for me. Do you know what I mean? In respect, when I get my next shot, I know for a fact that I'll be 100%. But listen, I've been up and down massively mentally with the sport. With, like I said, with the bad decisions where I thought I'd won, and then ones where I knew I'd won, and I still didn't get the decision, a draw or whatever. And it's hard to try and build back. Some people have won, they've lost, and they're done. Whereas I'm not like that. I know deep down what I've got left to give for the sport, and I'll be giving it when it comes. I just need the opportunity. That's all I'm asking for now.
How do you reflect on those times? Because you have fought on big shows. You fought on Brook. Who did Brook fight? Brook Rabchenka in Sheffield, was it? When you fought Atif Shafiq? Was that in the Brook card?
I don't know if that was busy or something like that. He might have boxed when I boxed Atif. But yeah, look, I felt good in camp for that, but I did the weight all wrong. I was still over a stone, like, leading into fight week, and they knew, and that's why they targeted the body. But you live and learn. I went straight up weight division. I feel I found me weight division now. And if I hadn't have had those bad decisions and that, I would be undefeated in this weight division. And I feel in my head, deep down, I am still kind of an undefeated fighter, which sounds crazy with 5 losses, but I've avenged one of the losses, and I genuinely believe if I boxed them all again, I'd comfortably beat them all again. So I've tried for the rematches with nearly every single one, and we just never been able to get them back on because they kind of know the score. So in my head, like I say, I'm kind of undefeated. So yeah, I know what I've got. Like I say, I know what I've got left to give.
What I was going to say is, do you look back at those times on these big cards that you've been in these big fights, and even if things didn't go your way, do you still look back and think, when I wanted to grow up and be a boxer, it was all about that. It was all about getting under the lights, the glitz and glamour, having that big fight week. Do you still look back at that with like fond memories?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, the great experiences, win, lose or draw. Don't get me wrong. On the night, you're heartbroken. There's no two ways about it. You're going to win, and you deep down you believe you're going to win. You're never going to lose, no matter whether that's me anyhow. Personally, I'm never going to lose. But looking back at the thing, I've had some great opportunities, and I'm proud of what I've done. I mean, I've won English title. I never thought I'd do that, but I'm British and Commonwealth level. I can definitely beat these lads. Yaki Menis Brown, who's just won it and stuff. Again, I'm not calling people out, but I've watched them box, and I believe I can beat them. So it's just like I said, I just need the opportunity now.
So yeah, just the final thing before we talk about some other stuff. You want to fight any super light in the country at domestic level, British Commonwealth, or perhaps even push to European or fringe European as well. You just want a fight that can get you motivated and get you back on the scene.
Yeah, I just want a major fight. It's as simple as that. Ideally, I want a title on line. I've done that many eliminators. I've won that many eliminators, and I deserve to be fighting for a major title. But again, just a big name, a bit on a big card is something that's what I want. And if that comes, I'll be a very happy man.
I want to talk about the weekend's events. I mentioned, I think it was on the Brook card for the Atif Shafiq, if I can say his name, Atif Shafiq fight. He goes in with Terence Crawford this weekend. Yeah, would be one of the biggest and best wins by a Brit abroad. He's already gone over and beat Sean Porter, one of the best welterweight wins of all time. Can he do it again?
Yeah, I believe he can. I highly rate Kell Brook, to be totally honest. So listen, this is boxing. Anything can happen. An underdog can win easily. And Kell, a massive underdog. He can fight. It's all a case of, for me, is if he's done the camp right. If he's done the camp right and he's been prepared, then of course he could win.
He's got no rehydration clause as well. We know Kell seems to have been sort of stripped completely of all energy before with these rehydration clauses, but if we see sort of the most natural, the biggest looking Kell Brook, is that what will give him the best opportunity to go in there and stick it on Crawford? Because he probably will have to stick it on him, let's be honest.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, like you said, the rehydration clause is a big thing. Is it £10? Is it the IBF? Yeah, so listen, some fighter I have put in £10 in space of a few hours after a weigh-in. So someone who's a bigger weight, who naturally has been at your light middleweights and stuff like that, if you put a stone and a half on, size does matter obviously in the ring, and that could be a big difference for him.
Just finally, this card, women's boxing is obviously flying, and this will be like a moment that everyone looks back on when you think of where female fighting can be in 5-10 years. They'll look back and say, do you remember that historic card, the first one, where pushed a card that's very female dominated at the top, not just a few females on the undercard, 3 world title fights. what does it mean to Terry and the team to just sort of see this progression in boxing, and of course see her face on the fight posters as well?
I don't think it's sank in with Terry yet. Obviously, she's just going with it, rolling with it. But I think all these sort of moments are things that you realise how big and how good they are 5-10 years down the line. Do you know what I mean? Not when you're there in the moment, because when you're there in the moment, you're just there, you're just going along with it. You don't actually realise and appreciate what these nights are. And in 5 years' time, she'll look back, and I'm pretty sure she'll be very, very proud, especially after a good performance on Saturday night.
Brilliant, thanks, Lee. And yeah, I was actually going to ask you at one point, going to say, if you're retired now, how would you reflect on your career? But it seems like you want any super light. We're not giving up. We're there. Any super light. You fought enough bloody eliminators. Yeah, we're ready.
Ain't no retiring. I can guarantee. If boxing didn't come back for another 2 years for me, I'd still be ready in 2 years to come. Maybe I won't be training as hard as I am obviously at the minute, but
fighting at super middle.
Yeah, something like that. That could easily happen. But no, I've still got more to give, so until obviously that opportunity comes, I'll just keep waiting. But ideally, I want them sooner rather than later. And I want a fair camp. Do you know what I mean? You don't want these 3 weeks notice like I did with Dodd and stuff. They make big differences, and a fair 8-week camp, and I could prove how good I am.
You're not nagging at Eddie's green turtleneck yesterday.
I did have a little word with him actually. I mean, you're only joking, like, and he says, "What about Ricky Burns, super lightweight?" And I just went, "Yeah, listen, mate, whatever, anyone." See if Eddie. I mean, obviously Terry's in a great position. When these crowds start coming back, obviously they might be able to drop on an undercard there. But I'm an entertaining fighter, so it makes sense to put me on a fight anyhow. Whether they're behind closed, you look at some of these behind closed door fights, and they're not the best, like. So I know what I can bring for good entertaining for the fans sat at home. So, and then when the crowds do come back, I'm a big ticket seller, so it all makes sense. So, Eddie, get me a fight, mate.
I know I said let's end it, but just thinking about you said Joe Laws and his team sort of pulled out of a fight with yourself. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that? Because I don't know, Joe's obviously just now coming off a loss against Ryland Charlton, so if he's going to jump in, perhaps he might jump in what you'd call I don't know, you know what I mean, like a fight where you consider him a massive favourite, and then he jumps back into a bigger fight. But if he wants to get a fight, wants to get his name back out there with a big win, then why can't you get that on?
To be tough, Joe Laws were never ever on my radar in any way, shape. Is a weight above. The fight got offered. It was live on Sky. I'm going to get paid just before Christmas. Why aren't I going to take it? And then he put a tweet out saying, "Listen, once I've had this fight, we'll get it on for a title next year." I said, "I'll hold you to that." Now he's lost. I'm not interested in him. No disrespect to him. He's got nothing to bring to the. He was just another undefeated fighter. I've boxed plenty of undefeated fighters before, but it weren't to gain me anywhere. So, by me beating Joe Laws, who's just come off a loss to a novice, personally, no disrespect to that lad, he'd only had 5 or 6 fights and he'd not won all of them. It ain't going to do anything for me. I want the bigger names. If he'd have won and there were going to be a title, of course I'd have took him on, but I'm not remotely interested in Joe. I knew I'd have done what happened to him on the night anyhow, so no, it's the bigger names that I want now.
Yeah, 'cause I was interested to know why it was you who was picked when there is a selection of welterweights in the country that they could have gone with weight-wise. It was you, but look, like I said, you're not giving up. You want someone, there's eliminators that you've won, and yeah, fingers crossed you can get yourself a big fight, and fingers crossed Terry keeps a belt on these shores, and happy ever after.
Yep, that's it, mate. Terry will definitely win, and like I said, fingers crossed I'll get that fight. So thanks for your time, much appreciated.
Brilliant, top man.
Cheers, buddy.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.